And a good afternoon, everyone. Hello, and how are you doing? For some reason, Microsoft Flight Sim is being a pain this afternoon, and it is showing as open when it's not, which, when you're trying to stream, is quite inconvenient. So, I don't quite know what I'm going to do as of yet about that. It says it's open, but then Streamlabs doesn't say it's open. Maybe because I updated? Or something? I don't know. Maybe? Is it gonna work? I guess it's gonna have to. I'm sorry, I'm trying. It doesn't want to shut. Come on. The title says it all. It's not already running, is it? Quite clearly, and we know that. I have to force it shut. Apologies for that, everyone. Had to do it a bit of a forceful manner, seeing as it didn't want to shut. But we should be flying in a couple of minutes' time. Message retracted. Shut up. It's just loading. Why don't I show you Streamlabs, because that's slightly better. I don't know why I even have that. Here we go. Actually, in theory, come up. No? Are we... Why are we slow today? Come on. There we go. Come on, let's go. It's not gonna do it. Oh, there we go. Finally! We're making some progress. Is that on my display or... No, okay. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Have to reload. As per usual, we're not going to have started for at least 15 minutes. Not my fault today. But as I said, we are going to be... Well, I haven't actually said it yet. We were supposed to be flying in the Seychelles. From, I believe its capital is Victoria. Just flying around the islands in the, in something. I thought we would do the Daha again, so the TBM 930, as is displayed on the screen actually. Coming out of what looks like San Francisco. Oh, I forgot to change the description then. Oops. Flying. That should, in theory, now show up on here. Yeah, that should now work. Yeah. Okay. let's go over to the Seychelles. I believe they're over here. That's a Seychelles. Please, are we gonna load or are we just gonna have a complete mess? Victoria. Victoria West, FA. You get like 2 seconds to look at what they have to say. It's just ridiculous. What on earth? I need a flight code. Victoria Seychelles Airport. FSIA. You're having a... You know it's an airport. Oh. Please. Unbelievable. Anything. Dubai. Let me at least pick an airport. So the Seychelles are over here, in theory. Mauritius, no. This is a nightmare. The white dots are airports, basically. In theory, that should be... I don't know why this is such a faff. FSIA should be coming up with Seychelles Airport. Mahe. Which should be there, I think. Alright, we're gonna Google Maps to the rescue. I'd like to think, at least. Well, hold on. So there should be an airport. There, in theory. So that's going to be our departure. And we're going to start airborne. And we're going to start, oh, that's custom. That'll do. Well, about time we're at least trying to load in. Victoria Seychelles Airport is where in theory going to be attempting to start today. As to whether we'll actually make it is kind of a different story, but oops. Kind of adjusting my microphone. It's really weird because I'm like moving. Oof. Okay. We're loading. Ah, yes, here we go. Welcome, as I say, to the Daha TBM. It's the $930 model. Airport should in theory be just below us. And isn't, which just rendered this entire trip absolutely useless. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly over to that island where the airport was, which I think was out on our western side. Is the mouse still plugged in? I don't know. Was it on that island? I think it was. Why hasn't it got the only big island in the entire country? Airport in the entire country, so... Gondance? No? That one? Frigate. Oh, and actually... Yes, I see why now. That's quite a nice little private airport. Grass strip. Nothing really of much giant usage. I've been flying this a lot actually, the Daha. It's been a good little plane actually. Hello, by the way, Cure. And we'll be squawking 7456. Yes, I do have a GTX at the moment. Ooh. Four FPS though. Sheesh. Fair de la bounce. My throttle is idle, I just realised. Should be aiming for about 70%, 50 to 70, especially when you've got a bad joystick at the moment. We'll probably be on approach, I don't know, I guess because there's not really an airport here, it's going to make it certainly slightly different to what you would expect. I don't know why they haven't rendered in the big airport though, it makes no sense. You'd think they'd attempt to render in the airport that is of big importance, especially because, you know, people might want to use it, you know, but I know that certainly that on other sims it's just too cloudy to even notice where the airport is. It's ridiculous. The tiny little island coming up down below. Ooh. Which has in turn got its own tiny island. Exactly. Flex. Literally, that's all for. Hopefully, to run more. For example, Ultra, or, you know, Ultra Microsoft Flight Sim, or you could use, ease back on the way to 50% throttle, by the way. You could, you know, if you have a lot open as well, it can be useful, because it's never laggy at all. Well, apart from internet, and you know that, don't you? So I'm kind of, I think my internet's being a bit of an issue at the moment. That might change, and that VL3 is about to crash. What on earth? How do you achieve that? FDCT obsolete 667. Ooh, how on earth? Minus 70 feet. Must be my altimeter. Okay, that's logical. We're easing right back on the throttle now as we're coming into frigate. I guess they. Is that how you pronounce it? Someone from the Seychelles, let me know. Ah, there's literally four different countries who watch. Oh my god. Not really. You'd think it would use a lot more than it certainly does. It actually uses about 8, to be honest. It's not a huge amount. 8GB of RAM. But it's if you want to run something else at the same time, that's when it becomes an issue. And 32 or 40GB comes into its own. I think it's good, and it runs the combination of the goodish graphics card and the RAM helps to run this, especially because it's a lot of data it's getting out, and you know, it's a lot of data, and it also wants to display it in quite a nice way, and it does both of those, you know, in a very good fashion. So that's kind of why it's upgraded from 32. If you were a bit confused as to why it's not the linear, what's it called, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 pattern, it's 32 and 8. I think it's 16, 16, 38, 16, 16, 8. I think that's the airport on the far side of the island. So we're going to ease back on the throttle, I should imagine, I guess. Ooh. Little bit of flaps. A little bit high, to be honest. I think the fact that my joystick seems to want to shove me 8 million miles up into the air is also a factor on that. I'm going to continue with the lowering of the flaps, to be honest. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a horrible bit of... Anyway, 5 points. Does it have live cockpit? Of course it has a live cockpit. Everything. You can touch almost every... Well, you know. It's not full, of course. But everything you will need is doable. As you'd expect, I'd expect nothing less. We are way too high up. Which is the perfect time to put down the gear, obviously. Why wouldn't that be perfect? What do you mean, just one? This dude. Winds are... Oh. Actually, that's a bit less. No, that is the joystick. It's been bad lately. Ah, it's not a game though. Well, I mean, I'd call it a game, but it's not like arcade game or anything. It's not supposed to be that. Oh, look, that's the screen, by the way. That's like your equivalent of a GTX. Yeah, not GTX. G1000 screen. That's your equivalent, and you get 3 different screens in the data. Frigates. External or internal view? We're going for the external, I think. X-Plane doesn't look more realistic at all. This looks as good as it's gonna get. Ooh, bit of breeze actually. Bit breeze. Let's see how this goes. I probably wouldn't be. Yes. Well, you can't say it looks better and then say graphics wise. No. Microsoft Flight Sim has that potential, but it gives you more versatility as whether or not you want to use them. You can, obviously there are still issues with the FMCs and stuff, but they are working-ish. Obviously they're in development still technically, but wonderful. Can I stop the plane? Just about. Well. No, not even a chance. Don't even bother trying to run this without a GTX. You will be wasting your money. Spend that money on the GTX. Or the equivalent. It doesn't have to be GTX, but something that will run it, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your time running on low. In my opinion, if you're going to get this game, you don't run it on low, there's no point. What do you mean after this? The whole point of today is that we're going to be flying on this simulator. I don't usually go between them. Now, I'm pretty desperate for me to shut down my engines. Yeah, exactly, so... you know, a GTX or similar alternative, so long as it has got the graphics power to run the game, because if it doesn't, then don't bother, basically. That's how it works. But I think there is a limit on the GTX I'm running. If you're interested, I'm running the very high. I'll take you for a look. I'm running 1080, 1920 by 1080. High end. There's obviously the choice of upwards would be ultra, and I don't have anything that can do that. And down would be medium. I know a lot of people have been running on medium, and that looks pretty good as well. But ultra is good enough anyway. VSync, I actually don't know what that does, but yeah, 60 FPS it's all. I'm going to be probably fiddling with my settings slightly more as I go on. Especially now, because... yeah. I'm going to set those to loads more because why not? Oh yes. Ah, it's an English US. Oh. Oh, there's only English US. Oh. God. Oh, dear. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. I didn't change the language, it's still English US. I'm just going to check that actually, because now I have a feeling I've... Anyway, don't fiddle with your settings when you're in the middle of a game, I'll tell you that much. Why don't we go out to another island and we'll do some flying around it and have a little chat. Ooh, I'll give you some more light. So, in this you've got dimming cabin access. Starters, as you know, I've done those before. I found out that these buttons actually work really well. So those light the cabin nicely. Hello EK454. And my joystick is the middle one? Yes. It's being a nuisance. I figured out the autopilot as well, which is kind of nice. I might actually... Oh, it's frozen. It does that occasionally. It doesn't seem to like it. Doesn't seem to like it. I'm going to check what our nearest airports are. In theory. Well, I'm just gonna see. And find out. Hopefully it's somewhere we can fly to reasonably in 50 minutes. That should in theory work now, yes. What's our heading? 3232. There we go. Departing to the north. Hello, Joseph, as well. Someone did the big ping pong. And let's go. My joystick doesn't want to go. Stop it. Even my rudder's going, isn't it? Oh my. Really? Really? I don't know by this point. Gear going up. Nearest airport list. Oh wow, that fills me with hope. Definitely not despairing at all right now. Look at there, that might have an airport. It does. How long is that? Islands Airport. FSDR, in theory, should do the trick. So I'm actually going to set up our FMC, or very little FMC, and hopefully not crash while we're at it, which I have a feeling I'm going to do. We're setting a direct to nowhere at the moment. Flight plan and waypoint. F, S, D, R. You're having a laugh. Please. Please. Oh. There better be a waypoint or something. There's absolutely nothing. Seychelles, you are rubbish. Okay, so now we are in a slight pickle. Daros, no. Van Sank. So that's obviously going to have anything. Wow, it's got a concrete strip as well. Damn. My nearest suitable airport is that one we left Madagascar in that time. Remember that? That's our nearest suitable airport. Oh God. I need airports. Please. Oh God. There we go. Arachart. Arachart Airport. FMNA. At this point, I'm not really caring about which way we go. FMNA. Thank God. And we're going to set a direct to there because that will have to do. And nav, VNav, autopilot, altitude. Oh, thank goodness. How long? ETE 2 plus. That's the most, yeah, that's the least helpful bit of information that I have at the moment. Would be nice to know where we are. 608 nautical miles. Kilometers? Hold on a minute. That's gonna take years. So, that's now a change of destination for you, everyone. We're now heading to the town of Antisiranana in Madagascar, which in theory we should be getting to soon enough. Which it's miles away. It's absolutely miles away. But at least we're not flying there by hand. On the flight today, we're going to see the sights of there's nothing really. 1,100 kilometers dead. Some islands, really. That's kind of it. When we leave this, we'll see Darosh off on the right hand side. Continue down to Il du Nord, the Farquhar group. I'm reading off Google, so please don't sue me. YouTube? Anyone? No? Really? Okay, whatever. And then down over into Madagascar, Antsiranana, which is better to say than the other one, just north of it. If you want to look, then be my guest, and if you want to try to say it, good luck. Didn't set the registration or anything. Oops. Oh. The good thing about this is it's not going to yell at me for doing overspeed because it can't do it. But it is also fast enough that it's not an issue. Hopefully we can get there nice and quickly. If not, then we'll have to see what we can do. Probably land on an island somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean. 1100 nautical miles. No, kilometers even. By the way, I added some new pictures on our beginning and ending slideshow. I don't know if you saw those, but at the end, feel free to take a look, of course. And we're just leaving behind the main island of Mahe, Victoria, the capital of the Seychelles, being on the island itself. Okay. So we are currently actually going to be closer to our destination, whilst in a different country. Then our destination is to Antananarivo, the capital of Madagascar. We've flown there once or twice actually, haven't we? But yeah, just to put into context, that's how big Madagascar is. It's is that saying 1 hour 56? Oh, tailwind. 12:32 UTC. I don't know what time I set though, so what's the time now? Anyone have? No? Huh? Anyone? Oh, it will be on here, won't it? 2 hours. Well, we aren't going to be doing that, I'll tell you now. Let me take a look around the cabin here of the Dapper. One of the few cabins that you can actually take a little roam around. It's obviously not the biggest, of course, but you can get a nice little wing view here. Even on the middle one, you can get good enough of a wing view. I'm from behind, actually. Can't open the door in mid-air or even on the ground, I think. It's a little bit sad. And of course that characteristic notch black, I think it's a weight thing on the left hand side, is there. Why don't we take a look at the systems on our flight then. So we've got this one which shows the pitch, roll, your rest of it, altitude. You can control the range of the mini-map as well. The map settings don't seem to work. Traffic inset just brings up the other traffic that may be around. Altitude overlays, I think, probably going to be self-explanatory, and you can obviously go back. And there's loads to play with around here, of course. On the map then, it's again pretty self-explanatory. It shows you the flaps, all of the fuel. We're going to ignore that. All of the fuel info, cabin pressure, and ETAs and ETEs, ground speed, etc., etc. And the same as the first one on the autopilot deck. And if you see here, there's a mini screen showing again the altitudes, etc. Let's just mute that for you. You can set the altimeter heading, obviously. This is pretty similar to if you've seen the Cirrus Vision Jet and X-Plane. Autopilot, and you can have fuel nav, VNav, altitude, autopilot on. Basically everything you need, and you get your registration there as well. Small ones down here, I'm gonna get rid of that. I think I'm gonna try to at least. DI system is down there, which you can sort out. Cabin lights. Oh, circuit breaker lights. I'm sorry. You can even do all of this stuff as well. Heating and what do you call it? Parking brake down there. Gear info's down there. That flashes very nicely when the gears are down. It's very noticeable when it's dark. I like that feature a lot. And we've got the throttle quadrant, which can go 100% down to a full reverse thrust. Taxi, and you can go 0% throttle. Idle over here, the high idle, low idle, and then cut off as well. So that's very nice. Flaps as well, take off, landing. It's all available. Fuel overrides, basically cut off. And you also got your trim there too. Down here on these mini screens, there's plenty of options. So if you've got PFD, shows you your nav, salt bearings, blah blah blah, speed bugs. Your timer is also available here too. Minimums. Nearest airport, there's absolutely nothing apart from frigates. You can set map settings here, weather, and all of the waypoint info. Procedures is very importantly as well, if you actually do take it seriously, unlike me. Set your frequencies as well down on these small screens. And you got two of them, by the way. Even thought to put in the USB power. Music source. Wow, it's a lot of stuff here. On the yokes themselves, which seem to not want to exist at the moment, you've got some other controls, which... Oh. Really? Are we... Wow, okay. Oh, that's some settings, I think, on that's cloud cover. Further down the line. You've got trim as well, that can be done from here. Control the steering. Disconnecting autopilot and trim. Storm scope. Identify. You can also start a timer down from here as well. All a lot of stuff to do. On the aircraft, if you're interested, there's one door here. One door here, emergency exit really, and another here. Again, not a vast exit, so 3 doors aboard the aircraft. One mainly for the pilot, I'd imagine, and one emergency and one passenger entrance and exit. That's kind of the tour of this aircraft. So as you know, we're just kind of flying about. Has my internet had it? I think my internet's had it. A solid 248 knots. Hello, Ignace, as well. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Clouds formation's getting slightly higher up ahead, actually. Looking at it. I wonder what our plan is going to take us near. There's nothing in our way. Nothing. Yeah. I'd be tempted to change to that, to be honest. But I'm actually going to... Yeah. I'm going to get off the autopilot and hand sail us into... What on earth? Oh, turbulence. Ooh, heavy turb, actually. That is a nice little route. Domestic, obviously. Those are strong. I have a feeling they aren't going to stop though. No, it's not, is it? That's rudder. Because there's no up and down. Ah. Right. Autopilot. All the rest of it going off. And we're going to have to fend for ourselves. We're going to go and take a turn over to the right hand side and land on one of these small islands. Over here. I say over here, they're actually quite a way away. Why am I gaining speed and climbing at 200? 2,000 even. 2,000 feet per minute. Nearest airport. I have no airports near me. Is it ditch time? We're going to do an evasive practice because why not? Oh, I hate... No. Something that needs to be sorted is the fact that the vertical speed is so sensitive. It's not... You shouldn't be able to tip an aircraft on a, on a sixpence from going from minus 4,000 to 6,000 in point nothing of a second, you know. Airports closer to you, I'd be interested to see that. I can be infinitely closer. There aren't going to be any, I'll tell you now. Minus 9,000, obviously that's logical. Air resistance just left the chat. That's my throttle idle. We're going to bring our flaps down because it might slightly slow our infinite descent. Well, no, just fling us up at 2,000 vertical feet per minute. Of course, that's another logical. There's going to be an announcement. No one's going to listen to it though, because there's not enough people here. So I'll do it on Discord. Yeah, I'm going to announce something on Discord, so make sure you're there. This could be interesting. In theory, we should be cutting our engines. So I'm going to do that. Off you go. Lovely. Is it going to go? Yes, it is. Wonderful. All about easing it down. You don't want to be doing what I'm doing right now, because otherwise you're about to crash. It's probably going to give me a crash anyway. If I switched crashes back on, I can't remember. Ooh. That wasn't too bad, to be honest. That could have been a lot worse. And I guess welcome to somewhere. We're definitely somewhere. I just don't think it's anywhere of any use to any passengers aboard this flight. Yeah. Well, that went well. Let's go to the menu. And yes, indeed. And do a different flight. We're not done, by the way. Don't head out. Don't go. We're going to learn how to fly, because every time I crash, I deserve to learn how to fly. No. I don't think so. I want to do another one of those, to be honest. Strong winds, or... I nearly botted at Gibraltar when I did it. That was nearly very good. Don't go. What plane is that? Because I'd like to fly it now. Oh, let's do this. This landing was madness when I did it. It was actually mad. Watch this. When it loads in, look, what on earth? Look at the approach. You go over the airport. You are landing there, on a hill. This is going to be interesting. I think the last time I only managed to go around 3 times before landing, and it wasn't a very good land. Sorry. Hiccups. Wasn't a very good landing, but I actually did manage to get the plane down here, which is an achievement and a half, I'll tell you. So if you've had it, seriously come and try this. Bouncing even once can drastically affect your score, yes. Going around 3 times can drastically affect your score. This airport is the genuine map, lad, of the entire world. Taxi landing first time. We're in the Grand Caravan as well. I believe the airport is actually down there. As you can see, it's a grass strip. My favourite. Make sure you are descending. That's my first main tip. Bring the flaps down. And hope for your life that you can achieve to land here, because look, you are descending into a mountain until you bank left. And you're going to hold that left bank. I actually did it with an external view last time, which is kind of why I failed, because it sucked, basically. Don't go too low. That's another tip I have for anyone who's attempting to do a landing here. Too low and you're going around a couple of times. Make sure you line it up and have enough power to get up onto that hilltop. This is going to be the masterclass in landing at whatever airport this is, which I will remind you of its name later on. I believe the code is Whiskey X-Ray 53. Oh my. Oh, this is my pain. Oh my god. That's a rough landing, but it's a landing and now we're over. Goodbye. Well, I think that was very cruel and we definitely didn't crash. But it was also one of the best landings I've ever seen. So in conclusion, thank you for watching, and I hope you've seen that I can't land planes in today's video. Anyway, go check out the Discord server and all the rest of it down in the description below. Announcement, hopefully, today on Discord regarding a schedule change. There's also some other news on there, which I'm trying to keep it just on the Discord because it gives people an incentive to join. Obviously it's not mandatory or anything, but if you want to see some more stuff, that's the only way I can describe it really. If you want to see anything more than and occasional streams, especially when I've weekends, half terms, etc., etc. That's going to all be on Discord. So go join if you have a Discord account or would like to sign up. As I say, link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.